So, I think me just reviewing videos on this is going to become a thing because I'm doing it a lot. And you know I'm going to, especially with like Doctor Who and stuff. Not necessarily movies, just stuff, reviewing stuff. So, Resident Evil 2 was called Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's really confusing in the beginning, but the just is Raccoon City, where it takes place, is a bunch of people go into the underground system again, and you're like, what happened? Because they're idiots and won't wait until she tells them. But, wakes up and tells them, I suppose. But, pulling my pants up. So, they go under, and they let the virus out, and along with the lickers, which are the big, scary virus monsters I told you about earlier that scratched supposedly David Boreanaz and mutated him. Anyway, and so they're like evacuating all the important Umbrella people and a couple other people who were like, we'll just evacuate just a couple city people. But then they close the gates and the police officers and everyone is just left in there with a huge zombie problem. And then they're like, we're just gonna nuke the whole place at sunrise, so have fun. But there's no way to get out of the city now because they've closed the gates. So Alice is walking around and she goes to a gun store and buys a bunch of guns, and it turns out when she was in the labs, they were experimenting on her as well. And she bonded really well with the T-virus, which is what's turning everyone else into zombies. So she's just really strong and fast and badass, basically. It's basically what it comes down to. So she shoots a bunch of the lickers, big scary T-virus monsters, and saves a bunch of people and kills a bunch of zombies and stuff. And then one of the scientists from Umbrella calls her and goes, he's earlier said that he didn't want to leave the city yet, but they brought him out of the city, so he's not in the city, and he's in a wheelchair, which is kind of important. So he can't, like, go into the city or anything. This is gonna go over the time limit, you know it, but oh well. So he calls her and a bunch of people she's met up with. Two police officers and a news lady and a bunch of other people. And, he's like, by the way, my daughter's in there, and she's like, I don't know, 12, I think. 10. 8. 8 to 12. I don't know. I'm not good at gauging ages. Neither are you, so, I mean, don't even. So, you go get her, and then I'll let you out, because I can do that, because I'm awesome. So, they go get her from her school where she's hiding out, and I don't know about you, but if I had one place to hide out in the whole entire city to stay away from zombies, I don't think it would be my middle school. Just me. Although I had bad middle school experiences, so I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the most fortified place. I don't know. I think my 8-year-old self would not have appreciated that. Anyway. So they save her. They get out. Then they meet David Boreanaz. Should be Matt person again. Should be David Boreanaz. It's not. Anyway, turns out he's this huge monster thing. And, they get to the end of the place and the evil Umbrella owner person is like, fight! You and should be Boreanaz, fight! And she's like, I'm not gonna do that. So he shoots someone in her group. I'm not gonna tell you who, because that would just be mean. But and she's like, okay, I'll do it. And she fights him, and then it turns out, and, like, she stabs him, and he's like, oh, I'm not dead, but, you know, I could be. I'm probably not. But anyway. And she's like, and then she sees that his, like, eye is the same. He has one eye at this point in time, and the other eye is, like, encased in, like, gnarliness. This is how I speak. And his eye is, like, the same as regular Matt is, and then she's like, oh, no, I just hurt Matt, I'm so sorry. And the guy's like, finish him off, and she's like, I don't think so. So, he, like, walks away and is like, oh, it was such a waste. You're gone on experiment. That was my timer. But And then big David Boreanaz is like, getting off the stabbing thing, walking over, shooting everyone except for Alice and her friends and fun stuff. Then they all get on, and then an airplane explodes, helicopter, and kills him, and then she gets on another helicopter with all her buddies, including the little girl, and they fly away, except then the helicopter crashes, and then she's the only one who's found after the helicopter crash because they thought she died, but she didn't. Anyway, and then they bring her to a secret underground Umbrella lab, and they like rejuvenate her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so weak and sad, and I don't remember anything." And then they're like, "Okay, what's your name?" And she's like, "What's my name? What's my name?" And then they're all like going, guys, the sensors, boss, the sensors that are attached to her brain are going berserk. You should come here." And then she's having like all these flashbacks of the first two movies. And he's like, "What? God, you guys, you were so annoying." And she goes, "My name's Alice." And then she like attacks everyone. It's pretty badass. Then she leaves, and that's about the end of the movie. So, linking to movie stuff. Yeah.